Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the first installment of the year of building the team. So, this is first off. Last time we ran. Which team was it? The Avengers in the snowball fight. It didn't go well. That was nearly a month. That was actually nearly a month ago. So, what's planned for the very first event of the month, or of the year, I should say? 800 points. No resources. Okay, all right. So we've got a few teams put together. First off, we've got an X-Force team. It's going to consist of Gateway here. Let's see him. In all honesty, Gateway serves one real purpose on this team. He's the wheelman. Anyways, Gateway comes in at 50 points. He has the Generation X, Reavers, X-Force, and X-Men keywords. He's a trait, Wormhole Walkabout. Allows him to carry 8 passengers. And he can carry characters with the flight symbol or Battle Fury as long as they share a keyword with him. When Gateway carries 2 or more characters after resolutions, end your action phase. So the trick would be, in my opinion, get everyone all bunched together and then, or get everyone actions, then manage to get everyone bunched in by him, and then he carried everyone away. He's got phasing teleport for all 4 clicks of his dial, super senses for all 4 clicks of his dial, as well as 2 clicks of probability control. So yeah, that's. But he's also got 0 attack and 0 damage. Anyways, moving on, we've got Boom Boom. Anyway, Boom Boom comes in at 60 points and brings the New Mutants, X Factor, and X Force keywords to the table. She's got special attack power 3-2-1 Boom, which allows her to use Energy Explosion and Penetrating Psychic Blast. When she makes a ranged attack and has no action tokens, modify her attack and damage values by +1, which can potentially give her, which ideally will get on her first click will give her 11 attack for 3 damage. She's got on speed. She's got running shot, some sidestep, then back to running shot, attack 3-2-1 Boom, and then just regular energy explosion. Defense, we're looking at energy deflection, followed up by willpower, and then a blessing on damage. Next up, we've got Shatterstar, a longtime favorite of mine from X-Force, to be perfectly honest. I think a lot of it has to do with the double-bladed sword. I think that's just plain cool. Anyway, Shatterstar comes in at 60 points. Just like Boom Boom, has the X-Men team ability. And he's also got the Mojoverse, X-Force, and Warrior keywords. We've got the trait, Engineered to be the Ultimate Fighter. Shatterstar can use sidestep and toughness. Then on attack, we've got a special power, Twin Blades. Shatterstar can use Blades Claw's Fangs. When he does, once per turn, you may re-roll the D6 roll, or the D6 roll. Then opening up, we've got charge for. We got charge, a couple clicks of flurry, another click of charge. We got 3 clicks of twin blades with 2, followed by 2 clicks of regular blades. combat reflexes followed by 2 clicks of super senses, another click of combat reflexes, and a final click of regeneration, and probability control on his last 2 clicks. Oh yeah. Next up, we've got Phantomex. Ah. This is actually part of the reason I wanted to run this team, as I got the Uncanny X-Force Fast Forces set for Christmas. So anyway, Phantomex, and this is the Phantomex from the Fast Forces. Phantomex, because it's 75 points, has no team ability, but has the Weapon X, X-Force, and X-Men keywords. He also has enhanced movement, ignores elevated terrain. We have a trait, EVA. Phantomex starts the game with an EVA Bystander on this card. While EVA is on this card, Phantomex can use super senses. Give Phantomex a power action to place EVA adjacent. When EVA is KO'd, place her on this card. So she never really goes away. I kind of like that, actually. And for EVA, as a bystander, has special speed power, drone mode engaged. When she makes an attack, when Phantomex makes an attack and EVA has line of fire to the target, modify the target's defense value by -1. Then she's also got super senses and outwit. And with 0 attack, 0 damage, 7 speed, and 16 defense. Anyways, so moving on, Phantomex has special speed movement power, roof running gunfighter, allowing him to use running shots on opponent's turns. Lines of fire to Phantomex are blocked if he occupies the room of elevated terrain. So basically, it has an enhanced version of stealth, or a different version of stealth, I should say. We got some sidesteps, some energy explosion, combat reflexes, toughness, and range combat expert. All in all, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Next up, we've got Domino. Everyone's favorite Lady Luck. Well, at least if you read Marvel comic, or X-Men comics at least. Anyway, so Domino comes in at 90 points. She's got a couple of traits. First off, we've got X-Force, which allows her to use stealth. And then we got Bad Luck. Keywords: 6-pack, X-Force, Assassin, Soldier, Spy. Forgot about those. And she has the X-Men team ability. We got the X-Force trait, allowing her to use stealth. We got Bad Luck Lady. Domino can use probability control. When an opposing character re-rolls an attack targeting Domino, immediately modify the attacker's attack and damage values by -1. Very nice. So anyways, we got Running Shot. Okay. Precision Strike. Combat Reflexes. And open up. The Running Shot gives way to Sidestep. Precision Strike gives way to Blades, Claws, Fangs. Combat Reflexes gives way to Super Senses, which then gives way to Regeneration. And later on the dial, she's got Shape Change. Next up, we've got Wolverine. Wearing his X-Force duds. Now, this is not the Booster Wolverine. This is actually the Fast Forces Wolverine. He's a bit beefier and a bit shorter. Anyway, Wolverine comes in at an even 100 points. He's got the Weapon X, X-Force, and X-Men team keywords. The trait, Best There Is. Wolverine's powers and abilities can't be countered. At the beginning of your turn, heal Wolverine a number of clicks equal to his action tokens. So, yeah. I'll put it. I will say this much: he's definitely an attacker you want to make sure to be rid of in one turn. So we open up with charge, blades, claws, fangs, toughness, and exploit weakness. After 3 clicks of charge, we get flurry. 3 clicks of blades, we get precision strike. 2 clicks of toughness, we get combat reflexes. 3 clicks of exploit weakness, we get battle fury. Also, he's undominable. Which is first out of this batch. Next up, we've got all new Wolverine. He's been a mainstay of he's popped up on a lot of teams that I've made in the last year. But honestly, can you blame me? She's good. Anyway, all new Wolverine comes in at 100 points, has no team ability, has the all new X-Men, Circle of 4, Weapon X, X-Force, and X-Men keywords. Has 3 traits: unexpected team ups, where she gains all the keywords of one character she shares at least one of her printed keywords with. Jonathan the Unstoppable Wolverine, makes that little furball there. The first time Jonathan will be KO'd, he's not. He's got Charge, Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Battle Fury. And Kickstarter Healing Factor. At the beginning of the turn, roll a d6 and add the number of action tokens on all new Wolverine. On a 5 or greater, heal 1 click. She opens up with Charge. She's got a straight dot of Blades, Claws, Fangs. 4 clicks of starting at the beginning with combat reflexes. 2 clicks of Perplex. Then we got 2 clicks on the back end of Charge as well. 2 clicks of Regeneration, and 2 clicks of Battle Fury. Okay. Alright. Next up, we've got Cable. Now, Cable comes in at 120 points as the X-Men. Oh, all new Wolverine is also indomitable as well. Cable comes in at 120 points, but has the X-Men team ability, is indomitable. Excuse me. Has improved movement, ignores hindering terrain, and has the New Mutants, 6-pack, X-Force, X-Men, Armor, Future, and Soldier keywords. He's got the trait X-Force, which, like Domino, gives him stealth. We got the special move power, Body Slide. Cable can use phasing teleport. When he does and moves 5 squares or less, after action is resolved, he may make a closer range attack. We've also got special power on defense, Techno-Organic Body, and Telekinetic Shield. Cable can use Invulnerability. When he has less than 2 action tokens, he can use Inner Shield Deflection. He also opens up, starting off, we've got Body Slide, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Techno-Organic Body, and Telekinetic Shield, and Probability Control. Body Slide gives way to Running Shot, which goes back to Body Slide, then Flurry, then back to Body Slide. Penetrating Psychic Blast gives way to, after a couple clicks, of Energy Explosion. We get 3 clicks of Techno-Organic Body and Telekinetic Shield, which give way to 3 clicks of Toughness, which gives way to a click of Regeneration. Then on damage, we got 2 clicks of Probability Control, 2 clicks of Range Combat Expert, 2 clicks of Exploit Weakness, and a final ending click of Probability Control. All in all, not bad for 120 points. And finally, the last hero on the team, the Merc with the Mouth himself, Deadpool. Okay, so this is Deadpool from his self-titled set a few years back, closer to 5 years. Comes in 135 points. Has no team ability. Has Agency X, Assassin, Deadpool Core, Heroes for Hire, 6-pack, Thunderbolts, Weapon X, and X-Force keywords. He has the special icon, marked with a mouth, which allows him to use speech bubbles, which we'll get into after we go over the character. Oh, first off, reading the ability. Marked with a mouth. Give Deadpool a free action and attach a word balloon to him, replacing any currently attached Deadpool can use the associated effects. We have a trait. I've been kicked off better teams than this, but you seem to be recruiting. During your first turn, you may choose to have Deadpool lose all keywords. If you do, he may choose a copyable team ability an opposing character possesses, and he may use it this game. I think it's better used in sealed games, or yeah. Anyway, so we open up with running shot and toughness. On an attack, we click into Blaze Claw's Fangs and then Pulse Wave. Oh, okay. On speed, running shot eventually gives way to sidestep, which gives way to basic teleport. Eventually, Deadpool clicks into Blaze Claw's Fangs and then into Pulse Wave. On defense, which by the way he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. Toughness gives way to Super Senses, which gives way to Ridiculous Regeneration. Whenever Deadpool will be dealt damage from an attack, roll a d6 instead. On a result of 1, he takes that damage plus 1. On a result of 2 or 3, he takes a normal amount of damage. On a 4 or a 5, he takes 1 damage. On a result of a 6, he heals 1 damage. This power can't be countered or ignored. Then after that he clicks into regular regen. Then on damage he clicks into Perplex, and then that gives way to Outwit. So okay, there are 5 potential word balloons. First off, we've got fourth wall. What fourth wall? Now, to give you an idea of how these work, there's a little slot on the back of his sculpt. And so Deadpool ends up looking like that. It's actually a pretty neat effect. So, like I said, starting with fourth wall, what fourth wall? The character can use probability control, but only when targeted with an attack. Okay. Next up, we've got Quick, Shield Beam with your bodies. Modify this character's defense value by +1 when adjacent to a friendly character that has 50 points or more. So, anybody on this team? Yes. Next up, we got That Was Cool and Explodey. When this character makes a ranged combat attack, if the attack total is at least 3 greater than the target's defense value, give opposing characters adjacent to the target an action token. Next up is Hammer Time. Now, this one can be a bitch. This character can use Energy Explosion, Quake, the flight ability, and modifies its attack value by +1. When this character misses with an attack, remove this from the game, and word balloons with this name can be attached to friendly characters for the rest of the game. So you gotta be real careful with that one. And finally, we got Broccoli. Why can't it be meat? Opposing characters within 8 squares occupying hindering terrain can't be healed. Not too shabby, especially if you work the map right, and with a +9 on map choice. Well, I mean, Alright, so next up, what's this you say? A DC team, and not a DC and Marvel mixed team that we might have later on as well. So, I was actually going to make an Apocalypse team with Deathstroke and some of the Female Furies, and Desaad, and the evil version of Supergirl. But I am currently unable to find my evil version of Supergirl, so yeah. Anyway. So we'll start things off with Skeets. Who is Skeets, you ask? Why, he is basically the conscience of Booster Gold. He's a small little robot that follows Booster around and kind of is definitely smarter than him. Anyway, we're running the 35 point version of Skeets. So, and he is, like I said, 35 points, and has the PD team ability. So, well, actually, none of these men. Well, he has a special power on speed. The headlines of 1,000 years. Adjacent friendly characters modify their attack by +1. If that character is named Booster Gold, modify his attack by +2 instead. Also, it should be noted that Skeets is tiny size. There are other special powers, but those only apply to his when he's on his 115 point starting point cost. So we got a couple clicks of Incapacitate, a couple clicks of Initial Deflection, and a couple clicks of Enhancement. And that's it for Skeets. Next up, oh yes, this team is the Justice League International team. I forgot to mention Justice League International team. Yes. Next up, we've got Godiva, who is basically DC's version of Medusa. I think it's mainly because they pretty much got the same hair. They pretty much got the same power. Prehensile hair. Difference being that Medusa is not. Or that Medusa is Queen of the Inhumans, and Godiva is a British superheroine from the DCU. Anyway, she's 43 points and has the JLA team ability. She's got the Global Guardians and Justice League International keywords. But we start off with Plasticity, the special attack power Entangling Hair, which allows her to use Incapacitate. When she does, she can use the Giant Reach ability to target all opposing characters she can attack with a close combat attack. That's kind of neat. That's like bulk in cap. Oh wait, everybody's got an action token. Then on defense, she's got Initial Deflection. Now on speed or attack, she clicks into Quake from Entangling Hair, and on defense, she clicks into Willpower from Initial Deflection. Next up, we've got Ice, who you might remember from the Justice League team a while back, with the two Flashes and Green Arrow. Did I actually put that in the video? I don't recall. Right now, I'm really hoping I did. This would be weird if I didn't. Anyway. Ice comes in at 64 points, has the JLA team ability. She's got the Deity, Global Guardians, Justice League, and Justice League International keywords. She also has a trait, Unlikely Couple. When a friendly character named Guy Gardner is adjacent to Ice, they both modify their attack lines by +1, if not already modified by this effect. Anyway, she kicks things off with Running Shot, Incapacitate, and Barrier. Running Shot then gives way to Plasticity, and Barrier gives way to Defend. Okay. Not bad for 64 points, I don't guess. Next up, we've got Booster Gold, the greatest hero you've never heard of. But that's kind of the shtick with it, at least anymore. Booster is actually a favorite underdog character from the DCU for me. I've been waiting to hear that he's going to be on Legends of Tomorrow since the show was announced. Anyway, so Booster Gold comes in at 70 points, has no team ability. He has the Celebrity, Future, Justice League International, Metropolis, and Super Buddies keywords. We open up with Running Shot, Energy Explosion, Energy deflection, and special power on damage. Stand back and watch a real hero, Beetle. Booster Gold can use probability control. He may use it an additional time each turn if one of those uses targets himself or a friendly character named Blue Beetle. We're not running Blue Beetle, but yeah. And funny thing, Blue Beetle has a special power named I'll let you know if I find one. Referring to watch a real hero. Anyway, so his running shot clicks into sidestep. His energy explosion clicks into super strength. His inertial deflection clicks into toughness. And his stand back watch a real hero clicks into empower. Okay. Next up, we've got fire. Sorry, itchy face. Fire comes in at 75 points, has the JLA keyword, as well as the Checkmate, Global Guardians, Justice League International, and Spy keywords. She also has the trait Fast Friends. When Fire carries a character named Ice that has no action tokens, Ice may be given a non-free action this turn. Okay, alright. Then she's also got the Sharpshooter ability, so she can attack and she can make ranged attacks against adjacent opposing characters. Right, so she kicks off with running shot, then as well as energy explosion, inertial deflection, and the special power on damage, fiery form. When fire takes damage from a close combat attack, the attacker is dealt one unavoidable damage. To my knowledge, this has not been errated to be penetrating. It's straight up unavoidable. So anyway, energy explosion gives way to poison because we're fiery, because she's in a fiery form, and the fiery form gives way to ranged combat expert. All right, next up on the list, we've got everyone's favorite asshole with a power ring, Guy Gardner. This is one of my favorite sculpts for God, but not my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite is probably the one from DC 75th Anniversary, where he's all Red Lanterned out with a chainsaw. Anyway, so Guy Gardner comes in at 142 points. Quite the difference there. Quite the jump in point costs. And he's got the JLA team ability. Sadly, not also the Green Lantern Corps team ability, but hey, pick and choose, right? Beggars and choosers, whatever. Right, he's got the Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, and Justice League International keywords. We've got the trait, I carry this team. When Guy Gardner is adjacent to a character with the same keyword, unless they have already been modified by this effect, modify Guy Gardner's damage value by +1 and the adjacent character's defense value by +1. I'm already seeing, and yes, I'm already seeing a possible way that's going to really work out well. Then we got special attack power, Two-Fisted Charge. Guy Gardner can use Charge and Flurry. When he uses Flurry to attack the same character twice, damage dealt by the second attack is penetrating damage. Then we got Quake. Toughness on defense, and he's also got Indomitable, so built-in willpower. And, yeah. Quake gives way to Telekinesis. Toughness gives way to Invulnerability. Invulnerability gives way to Regeneration. Then he clicks into Ranged Combat Expert, and that gives way to Busting, the special damage power, Busting Heads, which allows him to use Exploit Weakness and Battle Fury. Not bad. Next on the list, we got the main reason I've been wanting to run this team for quite some time. The main man, the last Zarnian, Lobo. And Dog. Alright, so Lobo comes in 169 points. He's got Brute, Justice League International, and Legion keywords. He has a trait, Blah, Healing Factor Blah. At the beginning of your turn as a free action, you may heal Lobo of 1 damage. Alright, we start off with Charge. Vulnerability on defense, he's indomitable, so built-in willpower. And the special damage power, Hook, Line, and Massacre. Give Lobo a power action and choose an opposing character within 5 squares in line of fire. Then roll a d6. If the d6 result is higher than the number of squares to that character, you may place that character in a square adjacent to Lobo. On any result, you may then make a close combat attack. Not too shabby. Anyway, so Charge, well, he's got Charge for as his only movement power. He clicks into Blaze Claw's Fangs because he's the biggest bastard around. Then he clicks into Lazy Dog on attack after Blaze Claw's Fangs. Lobo can use Flurry. Before the second attack, roll a d6. His damage value becomes the result -1 and is locked. So, potentially speaking, on the second attack with Flurry, he could do 5 damage. That ain't, well, probably potentially 6 on a critical hit. But yeah. Invulnerability gives way to Toughness. Hook, Line, and Massacre gives way to Probability Control. Probability Control gives way to Close Combat Expert. And Close Combat Expert gives way to Exploit Weakness. And now, rounding out the team, because, well, why the hell not? We've got Batman. Now you're probably asking yourself, why is he getting the Batman last? There's no way he's got a higher point cost than any of those other dudes. I mean, he's just a guy in a batsuit, right? That is where you would be wrong. I mean, not the batsuit part. That's true. Batman comes in at a solid 200 points. Has the Batman Ally team ability, the Batman Family, Gotham City, Justice League International, and Outsiders keywords. Has improved movement, ignores, elevated, hindering, outdoor blocking, and characters. Yeah, nothing stops Batman. Nothing. He's got a trait, as he's at 200 points, Team Leader. At the beginning of the game, choose a keyword Batman possesses. All friendly characters with that keyword and a lower point value can use the Batman Allied team ability while Batman is on the map. So yeah, everybody just got stealth. Anyway, so we open up with Charge, Toughness, and Indomitability. So built-in willpower. And Perplex. Charge gives way to Flurry. He clicks into I Will Not Fail Gotham. When Batman is marked with 1 action token, modify his attack value by +1. Toughness gives way to combat reflexes, and Perplex gives way to Outwit. Okay, not bad. And to be personally honest, that is my hands down favorite version of Batman. And though I will say this much, it is not my preferred Batman when running a Batman Family team, because the Batman Family all has the Batman Ally team ability already. In my opinion, he's really great with a Justice League team, an Outsiders team, or Justice League International team. So anyways, moving on to the Black Order. Now you might recognize these fuckers from their part from being Thanos' henchmen in Avengers Infinity War. So let's get started with them, shall we? First off, we've got Ebony Maw, who, if you'll recall, talks. And talks. And then talks some more. He's worse than I am, let's be honest. So, Ebony Maw comes in at 65 points. has the Black Order and Minions of Thanos keywords. We got 2 traits. Words, words, words. Whenever an opposing character uses Outwit, Perplex, or Probability Control, place a Whisper token on this card. Give Ebony Maw a free action and remove a Whisper token to use either Outwit, Perplex, or Peace, or Probability Control until your next turn if he can't already. He may be given this free action up to 3 times each turn. Then we've got the trait Call of Obsidian, which actually shows up on all of the Black Order characters. When Ebony Maw is KO'd by an opposing character's attack, deal damage to that character equal to the last amount of damage dealt Ebony Maw. This cannot be reduced below 1. Anyway, so we start off with Stealth. Then we got the special attack power, Twist You into Betrayal. Whenever Ebony Maw is targeted by an attack from an opposing character, you may choose an adjacent opposing character that isn't the attacker to be the target of that attack, even if that character couldn't normally be targeted. Not bad. I'm already really liking that right there. Next up, we've got Super Senses on defense and Exploit Weakness on damage. So, Twist You into Betrayal gives way to Poison, and Exploit Weakness gives way to Shape Change. Next up, we've got Corvus Glaive, who is, for all intents and purposes, the field leader of Black Order. Comes at even 100 points. He's got the Black Order, Minions of Thanos, and Warrior keywords. Call Obsidian trait, just like Ebony Maw. We start off with Charge, Blaze Claw's Fangs, Toughness, and Exploit Weakness. Anyways, Charge his way to the special power Cloak of Shadows, allowing Corvus to use Charge with Plasticity. Blaze Claw's Fangs gives way to As I Hold My Blade, I Cannot Die. Corvus Glaive can use Blaze Claw's Fangs and increases his D6 roll by 1. Meaning he can do 7 damage, 8 with a critical hit. When he does and hits an opposing character before dealing damage, you may heal him of damage up to the result, but decrease the damage dealt by the same amount. So, yeah. Toughness then gives way to Regeneration, and Exploit Weakness gives way to the special power Thanos' Prime Lieutenant. Corvus Glaive can use Outwit. When he does, choose an adjacent friendly character with the Black Order keyword. That character can use Outwit until your next turn. Next up, we've got Black Dwarf, who was named in the movie Call Obsidian, because I don't know why. Black Dwarf comes in at 105 points, has the Black Order, Minions of Thanos, and Warrior keywords, as well as the Call Obsidian trait. Then we've got Charge and Flurry on I Shall Never Fail You Again, special power on speed. Black Dwarf can use Charge and Flurry. Seismic Slam. Black Dwarf can use Quake and Super Strength. When he uses Quake, choose up to 2 hit characters to be dealt 3 damage instead of 2, and knock back 3 squares. And he's got Indomitable, so built-in willpower, and he starts off, and we've got Invincible on defense. Yeah. And nothing on damage at all on the dot. Anyways, Charge is Charge. Seismic Slam gives way to Blaze Claw's Fangs, and Invincible gives way to Impervious. This is someone who is going to take a licking. Next up, we have a member who did not appear in Infinity War, Supergiant. And to be fair, I kind of wish I had Proxima Midnight, but she's a bit pricey by herself at the moment. Anyway, so Supergiant, 120 points, Black Order, Minions of Thanos keywords, Call Obsidian trait, special willpower on speed, mental possession. Supergiant can use mind control. When she does, she uses the unavoidable damage and modifies her attack by +1. At the beginning of your turn, she can use mind control as a free action to target a character she hit with mind control during your last turn. That's just mean. Also, just for reference, he's got a range of 7 for that, so yeah. Anyway, then on defense, she starts off with vulnerability. And on damage, she's got mental parasite. Supergiant can use Outwit. When she does, the target character modifies its combat wave by -1 until your next turn. Okay. So, mental possession gives way to mind control. Omnipath. Oh yes, she clicks in. Okay. So she clicks into the special attack power Omnipath. This allows her to use Penetrating Psychic Blast, and when she does, she may target any number of characters. Again, that's just kind of mean. That Omnipath then gives way to Pulse Wave. Invulnerability gives way to Toughness. Toughness gives way to Willpower. Mental Parasite gives way to Shape Change, and Shape Change gives way to Perplex. And finally, we got the Big Daddy himself. The main event from last spring. Thanos. Now, this particular Thanos figure has been very much maligned since its release last year in Avengers Infinity. So I figured I should see if everyone's right. I played against it, and it's a bitch to play against. Anyway, Thanos comes in at 325 points, and he has 3 traits, 2 of which are costed. We also have the Black Order, Eternal, Minions of Thanos, Brute, and Cosmic keywords, and the Power Cosmic team ability. So built-in willpower, protected from Outwit, yeah. So the first costed trait, which costs 25 points, 1/2 of all life, gone in an instant. Whenever an opposing character attacks, after resolutions, deal that character 1 penetrating damage for each 2 in that attack roll. For example, 2 penetrating damage for rolling 2 2s. This is hit or miss, so yeah. The next costed trait, Come and Get Me, costs 50 points. Once per turn, when Thanos is attacked, you may choose to roll 2d6. If your roll plus your attack value is higher than the attack total, that attack automatically misses, and, after resolutions, deal the attacker damage equal to their printed damage value. Now, it's not penetrating damage, so if they have a damage reducer, they're still good. Then finally, we have the trait Passing of the Gauntlet. When Thanos is KO'd, choose a friendly character. For the rest of the game, that character can use willpower and modifies its combat values by +1. Oh boy, so we start off with Sidestep, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Invincible, and Probability Control. Sidestep gives way to Charge, then back to Sidestep, then back to Charge, back to Sidestep, then 2 clicks of Phasing. Eventually we go back, we get another click of Penetrating Psychic Blast, then Penetrating Psychic Blast, then to Super Strength, then back to Penetrating Psychic Blast, then back to Super Strength, then Quake, and then Pulse Wave. Defensively, we've got Invincible and Vulnerability, Invincible and Vulnerability, let me start over again. Invincible, Impervious, Invincible, Impervious, and Vulnerability, 2 clicks, and then 2 final clicks of Regeneration. Damage, we've got Probability Control, Range Combat Expert, Prob, Exploit Weakness, Prob, Exploit Weakness, Close Combat Expert, and then Prob at the end. So yeah, that's the 400 point Thanos. But what's that? We're not done. Oh yeah, because we're going to we're going to possibly see about running that same 800 point Marvel and DC Atlantis team, consisting of the Trench, who you might recognize from the Aquaman movie if you've seen it. If you haven't, I actually do recommend it. It's fun. Namorita from the Marvel side of things. Mira. We're not going into depth on these again. We did the last time. Back to the Marvel side of things with Namor the Submariner. I love this sculpt. I really do. It's totally a baller sculpt. Yes, I said that out loud. Sue me. Next up, we've got Ocean Master. Also, remember this SOB from the Aquaman movie. And of course, we've got Aquaman himself. And back to the Marvel side of things, Giganto. Because Giganto, yeah, stuff. So yeah, that is it. Well, okay, we'll actually go over Giganto. It's been a while since we looked at him. Giganto has the Atlantis, Animal, and Monster keywords. He's 200 points. He's got the Mass Destruction trait, which is super strength, and when given a move action, after resolutions, destroy all adjacent pieces of blocking terrain. Then he can use the Quake at no cost. He also has he has a special power on movement at the beginning and middle of his dial. Attack the surface world. He's a phasing teleport. When he uses it, it places hindering terrain markers in the squares he ends his movement in. Then he clicks into charge, then some flurry. Eventually clicking into Blaze Claw's fangs on attack. Kicking things off with impervious, then toughness, then impervious, then toughness on defense. And then we got some exploit weakness on damage. So yeah, that is it for this build team. Like I said, I will probably end up finding that damn Supergirl figure, Friday or tomorrow or whatever. Anyway, so that's it for tonight, or for today. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, as well as my Patreon are in the description box down below. Feel free to check each of those out as you will. Yeah, this is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.